Yes. Monday. You made it through another weekend, as I did. Hope it went well for you. Head Bangers and Hooligans. The show. And as always, Scummalicious, yours truly, bringing you the entertainment that you crave. Tons of useless information that you will find, that you will not find anywhere else. And every Monday will be heavy metal. And every Tuesday is dedicated to punk. And then Wednesday and Thursday and Friday I just set aside for reviews, my lists, and all that other stuff. And I'm doing a list today, of course, but it's all metal. So every Monday is a Metal Monday on Headbangers and Hooligans. No Mohawks today, strictly the devil sign. So let's do this. My top 20 underrated heavy metal songs of the 80s. And this wasn't easy. Lots of good music that in that decade, and we know for 3 or 4 years, just absolutely got smothered with glam bands. And, you know, I reviewed Faster Pussycat on Friday. And I love that album. I will never get tired of that album. But the whole glam thing, it just overwhelmed us after a while. You know, and I've mentioned it before, like on Headbangers Ball. You would see a video of Megadeth, Peace Sells. And then the next 3 videos would be Bon Jovi and LA Guns, and then Vane. Hey you, I know you, what you got going, hey you. I know, I'm exaggerating, but yeah, a lot of good music and a lot of good videos that they didn't show on there. And don't get me wrong, because I love Headbangers Ball. To me, it's still the greatest fucking show that was ever created. Yeah, even with Ricky Rackman. Boy, the bands hated him. All right, let's do this. And we're gonna get right after it. Number 20 by a band that's very close to my heart. Yeah, I'm getting sentimental. Armored Saint. John Bush, remember him? He also sang for Anthrax on a few albums. And I'm not going to get into that dispute whether he was better than Joey Belladonna. I like both singers. And I think Joey Belladonna sings better on certain Anthrax songs, and John Bush sounds better on the slower stuff. And, you know, I give it up. I understand that when John Bush became the vocalist for Anthrax, they did kind of slow down, you know, and I know a lot of hardcore Anthrax fans hate that, but I like both. Alright, so Armored Saint, the song, number 20, Book of Blood, off Raising Fear. And I was reading about this online yesterday, which, yeah, shocker, I'm online too much. I have an addiction. Actually, it's a YouTube addiction. Big time. When I was looking up stuff about Armored Saint and all their albums and, you know, their history, this guy was kind of basically calling them a kind of a shitty band, actually. Calling them overrated. The only song I really like is March of the Saint. Fuck you. And I'm going to be a fanboy. I bitch about fanboys all the time, but I'm going to be a fanboy right now. Fuck you. They had a lot of great music, and Dave Pritchard, rest in peace, was so underrated as a guitarist. You know, all these guys get talked about in the 80s, and deservedly so. George Lynch, you know, Robin Crosby, Warren DeMartini of Rat. But Dave Pritchard was right up there. Now, Book of Blood, the one line that I like in here, I'm just the spokesman here, and I feel the same fear. And it's just got this nice little heavy, I say little, big. It's got this big heavy melodic riff. And then in the middle, after the solo, the song changes, and I'm telling you, it gives me goosebumps. And John Bush just hits the right notes. And Raising Fear is an amazing album. And if you haven't listened to it, check it out. Check out all their stuff. Criminally underrated band. Alright, number 19. I want to make this very clear. Not a huge Van Halen fan. Never have been. Is Eddie Van Halen an amazing guitarist? He is. But he's also a fucking dick. He really is. That guy is an asshole. And you hear all the stories, and then you see him in all the interviews. Him and Alex, who would want to be in a fucking band with him? And I get that, man. Musicians, they're weird motherfuckers. That's what they do, you know? Especially good ones. They're really quirky. Like Dave Mustaine, so talented, but I don't want to hear him in an interview. It's like, Dave, shut up. So fucking serious about everything all the time. You know? Lighten up. The song I picked from Van Halen is Center Swing off Fair Warning. That album is fucking incredible. I've got the cassette. And this was probably about a month ago. I was going through all my old cassettes. I put that baby in. I thought, God, I forgot how good this album was. And the production and is just amazing. I mean, that music just pumps out of my speakers. Because I had another cassette I put in, I don't remember the band, and it was not even close as far as loud as it got. Now, I don't know how they did that in the studio, but I'm telling you, it sounds huge, and the bass and the drums just fucking hit you right in the chest. And I love this line in here. She looks so good. She looks so fucking good, so sexy and so frail. Something's got to bite on me. I'm going straight to hell. Now we're wasting time. Wasting time. Yeah, and it's David Lee Roth, of course, was the one singing it. And the whole Sammy Hagar, David Lee Roth thing, I'll take David Lee Roth. Sammy Hagar, talented guy. I just prefer Van Halen with David Lee Roth. All right, number 18, Voivod. The album Nothing Face. The song The Unknown Knows. The lead track. Voivod. Unfucking believable as far as nobody sounds like Voivod. They are their own unique little thing. You know, little thrash, little progressive, and you're in outer space on all their albums. And so fucking unique. And I remember, and I believe it was in 1990, there was a tour, and it had Soundgarden, Faith No More, and Voivod, and they were calling it, you know, the Future of Metal tour or something, and, you know, these all three different sounding bands, all unique, and fuck, that would have been an awesome concert to see. I did see Faith No More, but I never got the pleasure of seeing Soundgarden or Voivod. But pick any fucking album from Voivod, and you're going to be like, what in the fuck is he singing about? Like the vortex and the dark hole in my backyard. No one around. And it's kind of creepy. You're like, am I in a... feels like I'm in a movie. Some science fiction horror shit going on. Alright. On this train, will it always rain? Try to analyze this adventure. Songless guy, digital black guy. It's cool. I have no fucking idea what he's singing about. But that whole album is like that. It's just... it's so fucking unique. And I remember the first time I heard it, I didn't know what to think. I was like, do I like this? And then I kept playing it. I'm like, oh, this is so good. This is just... there ain't nobody like Voivod. There is a YouTube video, and you have to check it out. And it's Dave Grohl. And he talks about Voivod. And he kind of says the same things that I say about him. You know, it just blows you away. And even in that video, interview, Dave Grohl says, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about him. I know that feeling. A lot of songs do that to me. Give me the chicken skin, man. Alright, number 17, Slayer, Mandatory Suicide. And little side note here, if you can tell, I'm taking my time. Because I have all kinds of time now that I can talk. Anybody that listens to me on SoundCloud, by the way, I'm going to be migrating all those old podcasts over here to Spreaker. Yes, I used the word migrating. Won't fucking use that again. Anyway, I only had so much time I could talk, but now with Spreaker, I can talk for hours and hours. Isn't that a fucking great thing? And I can see the look on your face right now. You're like, no, about 30 minutes a day is good enough. We can only handle so much of you, scummalicious. Alright, number 17, Slayer, Mandatory Suicide off of South of Heaven. This is another band. Not a gigantic fan of Slayer. I fucking hate Gary King. I just want to get that out of the way. I hate him in his interviews. He just comes off as a fucking arrogant prick, And I get it. Just like I was talking about Dave Mustaine. He's a musician. Some of them are quirky, but he's just a flat-out dick. And I remember the time, and he was talking about Jeff Hanneman. Well, the one thing about Jeff is he comes in after I've recorded a lot of the riffs and solos. Oh, go fuck yourself. Fucking asshole. Anyway, Mandatory Suicide. Murder at every footstep. A child's toy, sudden death. Sniper blazes through your knees. Suicide, and it's got that heavy, thick, chunky guitar riff that I just fucking love. I think South of Heaven is their best album. A lot of hardcore Slayer fans would probably disagree with me, but, and especially South of Heaven. And for me personally, the one thing about Slayer is a lot of their albums kind of run together. You know what I mean? It's like, which album is this? That's just me. Listen, they're a legendary band, and they deserve credit for all the music that they've recorded. I'm just not into them like a lot of people are. Alright, number 16. You knew I was going to get him in here. Yngwie Malmsteen. Yes, the massive fucking shredder of the 80s. As I take a drink of ice water. Good. Now I can talk again. Alright. I picked I Am a Viking. I was going to go with I'll See the Light Tonight, but I've already talked about that song probably 4 or 5 times, and I'm sure people are tired of me fucking talking about it. And that's the video they had for the on the album Marching Out. I'll see the light tonight, flashing through the sky. Take my light tonight. Oh, my lovely singing. I know you appreciate it. I know you do. Don't act like you don't appreciate my singing. So, anyway, I Am a Viking. I love the lyrics. Alright? Especially this part right here. By the way, Jeff Scott Soto was the singer I was trying to imitate. And, as usual, I failed fucking miserably. Alright. I am a Viking. I'm going out to war. I've got death upon my mind. I am a slayer, and you will taste my steel. He says steel a lot fucking better than I do, but it's just got that great classic metal guitar riff, obviously Yngwie Malmsteen. And of course the solo is epic like every fucking solo he does. Number 15, Dokken. State-of-the-art rockin'. Was that cheesy? That was kind of like a cheesy, wasn't it? Sorry. I seen that online somewhere and I thought I'd use it. And I probably shouldn't have. Okay, Back for the Attack is the album. Kiss of Death, the song. Now, this is a really good fucking album. A lot of people didn't buy it. A lot of people didn't listen to it. We're getting this. It was either 88 or 89 that this came out. Don't quote me on that. But we're getting close to where people weren't listening to this shit anymore. This is when all that fucking alternative shit came in. And quite frankly, hey, REM, fuck you, okay? Losing my religion. Fucking Michaels. Take the... fuck. Some of the alternative was okay. You know what? Music needed a little shake-up. But not REM. Anyway. You get the classic George Lynch killer guitar riff and solo as usual. And it's just a real catchy song, and it's a perfect track to kick off the album. Da-na-na-na. And Don Dawkins still sounds pretty good on there. Now, I recently heard him on YouTube. Yeah, he's not quite the same singer he used to be, but you know what? He wasn't flat. He wasn't terrible. He just doesn't have the power that he used to. That's okay. What is he, like 50? And he's a lot better than Stephen Pearcy. Holy fuck. Man, there's a couple, and I've talked about him before, there's a couple videos on YouTube. He is just fucking unbearable. What the fuck? You can't do that, Stephen. Anyway, number 14. Some people probably disagree with me on this one. I can't help it. I think it's a great song. Remember that album, Bruce Dickinson solo, Tattooed Millionaire? I like the album. Yeah, I had a couple guys saying, I think it's fucking cheesy. And Bruce Dickinson album's kind of cheesy, man. Well, fuck you. It's Bruce Dickinson. And, hey, I am a Paul Di'Anno fan. I just do. But, hey, if you're going to replace Paul Di'Anno, Bruce Dickinson's a pretty good choice. The song that I really like off of Tattooed Millionaire, besides the title track, is Born in 58. I was born in a mining town in 58 when black and white was up to date. Justice and liberty. You know, it's got this nice, catchy rhythm guitar riff, which, by the way, Yannick Gers, did I say that right? Why did I say Gers? Is the guitarist on this, who also plays in Iron Maiden. But it's, you know, and he's singing about soldiers and military, and we fucking know, holy shit, are you singing about soldiers? Yeah, you know, those same guys that fighting fucking stupid wars for us, that sacrifice a lot of shit for us. Yeah, but everybody wants to bitch about him. Okay, not going to go down that road today. Not going to get sidetracked. So let's go to number 13. Nuclear Assault. Something Wicked. Oh, This Way Comes. Remember the movie, by the way? Did anybody ever see that movie? I remember going to the movie theater. I don't know, it was like 10, 11. And I remember when I left, like, wow, that was a really cool movie. What was on TV the other day? And I'm like, what? I really like this fucking movie? Wasn't good. Anyway, this song, the fucking guitar riff. Alright. Thrash metal. I mean, when you think about thrash metal, it's the 80s, right? But this riff here, it's not fast, but it's so heavy and slow and chunky. I'm telling you, my speakers were like, you know, when the bass kind of pushes through, and my speakers were doing that. Seriously, they're going, because it was so fucking thick. I love it. And John Connolly, the singer on this, real high-pitched voice, but it's okay because it fits the music perfectly. Here comes the circus now to steal your life away. Catch unwary children at their play. And, you know, catch unwary children at their play. See, I can't do it. I can't do it. I would totally slaughter it like I just did. Which I tend to do that with a lot of the music that I sing. Number 12. Sabotage. Then it's not sabotage or sabotage. Or I'm just kidding. I'm having a little fun there. Anyway, The song I picked was 24 Hours Ago off the album Hall of the Mountain King. Now, for anybody that's never heard Sabotage, I'm being silly. Anyway, just picture just gigantic opera-like vocals with classical guitar riffs, okay? And Hall of the Mountain King, that song in itself is pretty fucking kick-ass. But John Oliva's voice, okay? I said Oliva. It might be Oliva. That's bad. I should know how to pronounce his name, and that's kind of disrespectful. But what I will do is say he is a fucking amazing singer. There you go, John. I hope that makes you feel a little bit better. Seriously, the notes that he fucking hits on here, incredible. Engines grind, I hit the red line, I'm moving fast, forget the past. 24 hours ago. And the guitar, the production, and you know a lot of the metal albums in the 80s, obviously they had the huge production, and it fits on this album too. You can hear it, but it has to be because it fits the music. I mean, this is big time music, all right? If you seen them in concert, you would probably lose your hearing if you didn't have earplugs in. That's what I'm trying to say. It's okay to overproduce a little, especially in the 80s. That's what made the 80s, right? You think all them glam bands sounded like they did on the videos? No. Trust me, there's a lot of studio tricks. Like Cinderella, Tom Kiefer. Do you think you could listen to him sing for an hour with that voice? I couldn't. That's just me. Alright. Number 11, Armored Saint. Yes. They come back. They started it off and they come back again. I could have actually had 5 or 6 of their songs on here. I was just being nice, and I thought I'd let some of the other bands have a little bit of love. Aftermath. Now this is off Delirious Nomad. In my opinion, that is the best Armored Saint album. In Aftermath, it starts off with this cool guitar riff and actually kind of a little lead solo, and then it stops, and then it just turns into an acoustic song just for the middle part, and he sings "Let It Be Felt," Aftermath, Shades of Hell, and then later on he says, "I've set them free but struggle eternally. It's too late now to turn the clock around. Frozen world outside made by foolish pride." And then this cool acoustic guitar solo, and I don't know how Dave Pritchard plays it, but he's doing little hammer-ons and pull-offs, and that would break my fucking fingers in half because it's not easy. It's hard enough to just play chords on an acoustic guitar, let alone a solo. And then after the acoustic part, it kicks back into the intro, the electric intro. Very dynamic song. And Armored Saint was a dynamic band. I love that word, dynamic. I like saying it. Alright. Number 10, Loudness. But I'm not going with Rock and Roll Crazy Nights. I'm going with Soldier of Fortune, the title track off Soldier of Fortune. Akira Takasaki. Say that 3 times. Actually, it's Akira. I said Akira. It's Akira Takasaki. Remember Rock and Roll Crazy Nights? Rock and Roll Crazy Nights. We are the heroes tonight. Well, this is not that song. I just had to sing it. But I love that part in there. But the guitar on this is pretty good too. Soldier of Fortune, giving you no warning. And then he says the whole world's watching, let it rock. Boy, that's that typical 80s metal line. Rock. We're gonna rock you out. Hey, get off fast, motherfuckers. It's time to rock. We We liked that back in the 80s, didn't we? We're gonna rock hard tonight. Okay, come on, let's rock. Alright, you get the point. I'm kind of going overboard. I know. I can't help myself sometimes, people. That's what I do. You know, I get into this stuff. I can't help it. So, we're already halfway through this bad boy. What do you think? Nay? Okay? Join yourself? Trying to? I know I am. Alright, number 9. Dokken, again, I had to get this song in here. Okay? Had to. When Heaven Comes Down. And it's off Tooth and Nail. The same Tooth and Nail that had You Just Got Lucky. I believe your deadly lies. And I like that song. It's catchy. But it's not the best song on the album. You know, and they had Alone Again. Oh, and Into the Fire. Dun, dun, I'm falling. Listen, When Heaven Comes Down, it's got this cool, heavy George Lynch guitar riff. And then when he hits the bridge, sorry, I had a little brain fart right there. I went, bleh. That's always nice to hear, isn't it? Anyway, the bridge part. I don't know who to believe. And then it's this perfect George Lynch melodic guitar riff. I could just listen to the bridge over and over. And now it's going to set me free. And then the chorus. 'Cause I'll be waiting when heaven comes down until tomorrow. And once again, Don Dokken sings it way better than I do. But the solo, George Lynch absolutely rips a shredder of a solo. In fact, I had my top 20 guitar riffs of all time. That's in there. I'm a big George Lynch fan. Alright. I can't believe how fast I'm going through this, actually. I said I'm taking my time, but it just feels like it's zooming by. You know. The chatterbox just keeps going, don't he? That's what I do. Alright. Number 8. Hang in there. Got to get my papers organized. Alright. Dio. Night People. Off of Dream Evil. Here's another phrase I like to use a lot. The criminally underrated album, Dream Evil, that Craig Goldie played on. I think he played in, I'm going to slaughter this name, Giuffria? Is that how you pronounced it? I am a huge Vivian Campbell fan, and everybody knows that listen to any of my podcasts. I just love his guitar work. I love his solos. So when I heard Craig Goldie was going to be on this album, I wasn't really excited. I'm like, Giuffria? To Dio? What? But I'm telling you, it is typical Dio, and Craig Goldie just absolutely fucking shreds on this song. He shreds on this whole album. But it's typical Dio at the beginning of Night People. Do you like the dark? Do you like the way it moves? Do you come alive when neon kills the sun? You know? That's typical Dio. We want rainbows, we want dragons, we want darkness in the night, but we are the warriors and we will find the light. I mean, that kind of shit. We love Dio for that. God, it sucks that he's gone. Rest in peace. Best voice ever. This is my opinion. Alright, number 7, Death Angel. Bored. Off of Frolic Through the Park. And you have to remember, and here we go. I just remembered this. Headbangers Ball. They used to play the shit out of this song, so I give them credit for that. Because I would have never heard Death Angel if they weren't on Headbangers Ball, so I do have to thank them for that. But to know that they were teenagers when they recorded that album, and I mean, it's a fucking shredder, okay? They were right there with Metallica and Slayer and the Big Four and Testament. They just didn't get the recognition like the others. And their last album, The Evil Divide, 2016, holy shit. That doesn't sound like a band that's been doing this for going on 30 years. I mean, that album just absolutely slays. But Bored, the drums on that song just, and I think the drummer, don't quote me on this, was like either 14 or 15 when they recorded this, and it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Holy shit, kid, you're killing it. All right, number 6, Rat, and the album Invasion of Your Privacy, and Out of the Cellar was such an amazing album. Whatever album they were going to record after that, it wasn't going to come close to that. I mean, Out of the Cellar is in my top 50 albums of all time. Seriously, it's that good. And You're in Love, and Lay It Down was good, and there's a lot of great songs on this album. I don't think people appreciate this album enough, so that's why Between the Eyes, lead track off the second side of my cassette, it just, Warren DeMartini and Robin Crosby, that guitar duo, that Rat sound, Rat and roll, well, it shines pretty good on this song. And then Stephen Pearcy, who was sober when he sang this song, thank God, because we don't fucking need to hear him when he's drunk anymore. Alright? It's like fingernails across the chalkboard. Just stop, Stephen. I mean, stop drinking a couple hours before you get on stage. Anyway, I don't like your cheating, misfit way. I don't stand for giving it away. So you want some action, ask me why. You say you won't keep me in your target side. Bam, no, just a real catchy song. And I'm begging you, please go check that album out. Invasion of Your Privacy. I mean, Warren DeMartini and Robin Crosby, they kill it on there like they did on Out of the Cellar. Not quite Out of the Cellar, but still pretty fucking good. Alright. Number 5 already. And I went with Bad Boys from Great White off with the album Great White. And let me tell you something. I dropped the ball on this album. I never checked it out. I discovered this album about a year ago. Of course, they got popular in the 80s with, rock me now, Once Bitten. And I'm sorry, that cover, Once Bitten, Twice Shy, baby. Fuck off. I'm sorry, I just don't like that song. I know it was popular, and their cover, I mean, it was a good cover. That fucking song, I just hated it. And that album sucked. Mr. Bone. I didn't like it. And I get it, a lot of heavy metal bands were kind of blues influenced, but this album here, it's metal. It's not that shit that they recorded later. And oh my God, this song, the minute I heard it, I said, you know what, I'm learning to play that on guitar, and that's what I'm doing actually, as we speak right now. Well, not at this moment, but yeah. And the lyrics: young boy, a hard gin ride, on the loose again, live fast to play both sides, I'm on the run. And the chorus, I'm telling you, it'll go through your head all day. I'm on the loose, bad boys. And they kind of repeat that over and over, but this song is so fucking catchy. And that whole album is good. There's another song, Down on Your Knees, is good. Yeah, they cover Substitute from The Who. I love their version. Substitute. They do a good job. I just didn't like that. Once Bitten, Twice Shy. Did I make that point clear that I didn't like the cover of that song? Alright. God, number 4 already. What the fuck? Scummalicious. Alright. Killers. Iron Maiden. The song Killers off the album. Wow. It's Paul Di'Anno. Everybody knows how much I love this album. And hardcore Iron Maiden fans like me, they understand the importance of the first two albums that Paul Di'Anno sang on. And this song here, no different. The guitar riff in this, I'm telling you, you have to hear it. They're doing some crazy shit on guitar through the verses, the solos. I mean, it's Dave Murray and Adrian Smith. And I like Nico McBrain, but Clive Burr's the drummer on this album. And for the longest time, I was like, I don't see why people love Clive Burr so much over Nico McBrain. And the more I started listening to it, I realized, yeah, he was a monster. Hey, and Nico McBrain is an amazing drummer. But Clive Burr he was a different kind of animal. But these lyrics are amazing. You walk through the subway, his eyes burn a hole in your bike. Da-da-na-da-da-na-na-na. A footstep behind you, he lunges, prepared for attack. And Paul Di'Anno, his voice, so fucking unique. And I just miss him, you know? And like I said, Bruce Dickinson is an amazing singer. I mean, if you're going to replace Paul Di'Anno with somebody, was the perfect choice. But Killers, what an amazing album. And how many bands could get away with doing 2 instrumentals on an album? Iron Maiden. And both instrumentals are really fucking good. Number 3, Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon, the album, the song, Waiting for Darkness. I do not understand how this song is hardly ever talked about when they talk about Ozzy's albums. I think it's one of the best songs he's ever recorded. I know what they'll find, it's in their mind, it's what they want to see. It's such a great song. What a way to end the fucking album. Now they have another version of Bark at the Moon that's got 9 songs. I've got the original 8-song album on cassette, and what a way to end that album. I love that song. Obviously. Alright. Number 2. Already, huh? Def Leppard, Lady Strange off High and Dry. That album. And I am so excited because I found the CD. I have it on cassette also. I am trying to learn this entire album on guitar. Steve Clark and Pete Willis were so fucking good on this entire album. Steve Clark, rest in peace. Talk about a guy that could write a song. Holy shit. But this album, I think it's by far their best album. Okay? Listen, and I love Pyromania. And that is a great album. But you remember when I used that phrase, overproduced? It is a little bit on Pyromania to me. High and Dry, it's got that raw sound that I love. I love Joe Elliott's vocals on this. And Lady Strange is such a great song. I never needed love before until I met you, girl. A girl like you I have never seen. You came into my life like a whirlwind, girl. And you let me know what loving really means. Da-da. Lady Strange, oh Lady Strange, I want you. It's just a great guitar riff. And Steve Clark really was better than anybody at doing that. And Switch 625, the instrumental off High and Dry, holy shit. That is my favorite instrumental in the entire world. Yes, it even beats Iron Maiden. And speaking of Iron Maiden, yes, they are number 1. The number 1 underrated song, heavy metal song of the 80s, Purgatory, off that same album, Killers. The guitars on that song, their light speed, it's so insane. You know, they do these fast little guitar fills at light speed, and when I'm trying to learn them, it's like I need a cassette so I can slow it down to, a quarter speed, so that it's playing like this in the cassette player. Otherwise, I can't learn anything. They're so fucking good on this album, on every album. I mean, what else can you say but Purgatory? Oh, another time, another place. Don't wanna see a smile, not another face. When you see me. Paul Di'Anno is so good on this album, and you know, I'll go on YouTube and I'll see the comments. Oh, he wasn't that good. Oh, fuck you. Then you go sing an album of Killers. And his voice and the guitars and Clive Burr on drums again, absolutely insane. And Steve Harris on bass, probably, and this is just my opinion, probably the best bass player ever lived. That is my opinion. But holy shit, the music that he writes, and he writes about, 90% of their music? Pretty damn close. Purgatory, it just captures everything that is awesome about Iron Maiden. And there you go. Top 20 underrated heavy metal songs of the 80s. So there you go. And tomorrow, it's all about the punk rock. Get your mohawk ready. That's how we do it on Tuesdays. Take it easy. And if it's easy, take it twice. I'm out.